Another parallel, back to the tuck rule game. A bad call, potentially. I don't know what you think about this, but Keelan Cole, and this is all happening, we're in the studio. As we're in the studio doing Football Night in America, there's a big wall of the remaining games that are on. So any chance that I get, you're turning over and you're like, oh, what's going on in the game? And the touchdown happened. The 30-yard pass from Derek Carr.
Could have used air quotes again.
Yeah, that's right. It's true. And it was an incredible catch. And James Kaminsky, who's in the studio, who's a big Jets fan, he's doing his best to restrain himself because we're doing a live TV show. And it's like, okay, it's a touchdown. Here we go, 24-24. We're headed to overtime unless something really stupid and goofy and unexpected happens, but we've already covered that ground. Let's watch the replay. And there's an overhead angle where, to me, and again, clear and obvious, and I'm one of the proponents, Myles, that the rules analysts on TV don't use it enough. The league office screws it up at times. They re-officiate the play from scratch. That's not what it's supposed to be. It's 50 drunks in a bar. We've been there and we've done that over and over again. It has to be something that people would look at and say, okay, that's just a bad call. That whether you're objective, whether you're partisan, if you're fair-minded, you look at it and you say, that needs to be fixed. Do we have the overhead? This is the key angle. We don't have it. Trust me on this. And you'll find it on social media or elsewhere. We'll probably have links to it at PFT. But there's one angle from above that you can see, and it looks like foot. Front end of the foot is on the white. There's some still images. Getty has one. We used it for our story last night about the pool report from Walt Anderson, the senior VP of officiating. It sure looks like the foot is on the white. And, Myles, this is a reality. And this gets back to, and there's a certain irony here because Bill Belichick is one of the ones who has been pushing for this. The cameras, more cameras, more cameras, more cameras. Come on, guys, more cameras. You got the money. You can afford it. And there it is. There it is. That's the one I'm talking about. Thank you. Well done. Look at that. That's it. Look, clear and obvious. 50 drunks in a bar. That moment there. That's all I need to see. The foot is on the line, people. What more do you need to see? Myles, have I lost my mind?
Well,
that's it.
I mean, unless I'm taking crazy pills too, and that's the effect that you've had on me. I mean, it looked pretty clear and obvious when you see this angle.
It's on the white line.
Yeah, that the foot is on the white. And I'll be honest with you, I'm texting my buddies during the game, and I'm like, I don't know if that was a catch initially. And I think what the official's looking at probably is to see whether or not he's got control in Keelan Cole. And so I get that part of it, and he does have control, which is great. I mean, it is a good reeling in of the ball, but I don't think it's a catch because you can see his foot going out of bounds right there. And I think that angle to me is clear and obvious. And Walt Anderson in the pool report said that they had access to it and it wasn't clear and obvious. And it's like, well, wait a minute. What are we looking at here? I don't really understand the explanation. I really don't. And it's also funny to me when Bill Belichick gets asked about it and he says, well, is there a pool report? Then there you go. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
And this is what the league does when something like this comes up. There's a pool report. Walt Anderson's available. They ask him about it. He said the evidence wasn't clear and obvious. Well, of course not. But of course, yes, we don't think that you said, oh, it is clear and obvious, but let's just screw the Patriots. Of course you came to that conclusion. How did you come to that conclusion? When the rest of us look at that and say, it looks clear and obvious. I mean, this is the first time that I can recall, because usually what happens, Myles, is they'll overturn a ruling on the field when it's not clear and obvious, when it appears that they have re-officiated from scratch. This is the first time I can remember where it's objectively clear and obvious, and they decided it wasn't. That's what surprises me about it. And the other point is this: we were talking about this in the control room after the or in the viewing room watching the Giants Commanders game last night after the dust settled on this. The idea that if this had been the NBC Sunday night game as it was originally supposed to be, what would we have? We would have had pylon cameras present. Yep. There would have been more cameras overall. There would have been more angles. Can you imagine that down the line pylon camera and you see Keelan Cole's foot clearly hitting the white? I mean, if it's clear from above, it's going to be damn clear from below that foot's on the white. So why aren't there? I've never priced pylon cameras. I haven't had a need to go out and buy pylon cameras. I can't imagine, based upon how cheap all other technologies currently are. I remember when the first calculator came out. The first little pocket calculator was like $100 back in 1972. Please go ahead and play the piano. But like that stuff is so cheap now. And even if it isn't cheap, you're talking about a multi-billion-dollar operation that has a very strong interest in getting this stuff right. But the problem ultimately is they are cheap. They collectively. And I'm sorry, go ahead and get mad at me. Go ahead and complain about me Christmas week. Try to get me in trouble. I don't care. You're all too cheap. You're rolling in dough. You're Scrooge McDuck doing the header into the pile of gold coins. And you won't pay for the cheapest stuff that will help enhance the integrity of the game, that will help enhance the officiating of the game, that will help enhance public confidence in the legitimacy of the wagers they're making on your game. Are you kidding me? That's the wake-up call they need to have. And Myles, it's not going to happen until Congress is chasing them around, until a prosecutor is indicting people, until an agency is created that has oversight of the NFL. That's when they're going to suddenly have their epiphany. Now they've gotten it over this whole fake injury thing. They realize we can't tolerate fake injuries that undermine the integrity of the game. We can't do anything there because it's going to look badly on us. Fine. Take that mindset. When I heard that they have that mindset, I said, good. Take it and apply it to other things like officiating.
Yes, absolutely. Look, I mean, there are too many bad calls, I think, on a week-to-week basis at this point where you're saying, man, what in the world is going on? And you're right. I mean, pylon cam would have been a definitive angle on that. And so, we would have been able to see exactly whether or not the foot was inbounds or out of bounds. And I just cannot imagine that investing in pylon cams would be all that much for every single broadcast that there is. I mean,
I got $20.
We're gonna have,
I'm kicking my
Christmas
20.
games?
Here, NFL, here's my contribution. I'll send it in. Well, we'll all happily pay $20. And really, relative
Speak for yourself.
Relative to my net worth, right? Let's extrapolate. And we don't even have to go all the way to Rob Walton. We don't have to go to David Tepper. Just run-of-the-mill average owner. This $20, percentage-wise of what I have. Take that. Take your 20 and state-of-the-art pylon cameras in every stadium. Every pylon is going to be popping with cameras. It's going to be like a fly's eye. There's going to be so many cameras on that pylon. Come on. Sorry.
Mike is telling us all, everybody, that he wipes his ass with $20, and so do the other owners.
There it
that's
is.
what they should be
doing. I'm gonna put my $20 back in my pocket lest I forget it. All right. I need that $20. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, you were saying something before I rudely interrupted you, as I often do.
Well, I don't even remember what it was now. But, yeah, we need more pylon cams is the answer there. Okay. And I felt like that was clear and obvious.
Yes.
So there we go.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.